I'm really enjoying the process of rebuilding my fitness from scratch. There is something extremely liberating about having to forgo all your expectations about what you could previously do in terms of power, endurance, and this kind of thing. And so, massively enjoying the gradual process here on the What Bike Pro of gradually rebuilding the endurance fitness. 7 weeks on from the crash, 6 weeks from the operation, and the weight is holding steady at about 60.5 kilograms. 20-minute effort, holding 17.5 minutes at 241 watts, aiming for 4 watts a kilogram. Well, that was 244 watts for the 20 minutes, so just over 4 watts a kilogram, and I'm super happy with that. I felt within myself throughout. And definitely 6 weeks on from the operation, 7 weeks from the accident, I'm starting to make some decent progress. And thank you once again ever so much for all the incredible encouragement, support and motivation, plus the inspiration from the recovery stories. It is hugely appreciated. And definitely, as you'll see, my little work trip to Frankfurt required me to have 3 full rest days off the bike. Well, I'm heading to Frankfurt with work today, and it's fair to say getting through security in all of this was a little bit more emotional than usual. Well, it's not the most comfortable flight I've ever had, but okay, in a very upright position here, and looking a bit like a Star Wars bounty hunter, but with a mask, the exoskeleton and the neck brace. Well, it's day 3 here in Frankfurt, and it's been great to get back to, well, semi-normal, what with the exoskeleton and everything. Great city to wander around, nice and quiet in comparison to London, beautiful streets, lovely people, and amazing to be back with colleagues in the office at work. However, I have been missing my little routine in the process of gradually rebuilding the endurance fitness on the What Bike Pro. So looking forward to getting back to that when I travel home later on today. Additionally though, I have still maintained one aspect of my little routine, and that has been the bedroom complexes. And I've increased the leg raises and the clams to 40 on each side, but also the leg raise crunch all the way to 70 reps. So really hoping that the extra abdominal strength is going to help prevent against injury when the exoskeleton comes off, but also will help with the overall rebuild of fitness when I'm training properly back on the bike. Plus, will be a benefit to Mr. Phill on the physio. You'd never guess that I'm right in the heart of the financial centre of Frankfurt, so much calmer than London. And back we come. And I've definitely felt better for it since coming home, because on a Friday I did 2 times 15 minutes at 225 watts with about 8 minutes recovery. Yesterday I did half an hour at 188 watts into a full hour at 206 watts, so that was an hour and a half at 200 watts, and again it felt good. And then this morning I've just done the 20 minutes, as I say, at 244 watts, just over 4 watts a kilogram. Going to be taking it super easy for the next 3 days because they're going to be really hot. And also I've been just popping out into the garden to get 10 or 15 minutes vitamin D onto the skin over Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and definitely a bit of vitamin D helps build us all back up. So more to come. Additionally, I've got an appointment on Wednesday at the hospital to see the spinal injury expert, and hopefully we can figure out a transition to take off the neck and the back brace. Fingers crossed. Cheers. Weighing in this morning at 60 kilograms, albeit with the exoskeleton here, 61.5. Amino acids. A little bit of caffeine mixture in there to create an almost amino acids and cold coffee. Those of you that remember my addiction to that, I still occasionally have it, even with the exoskeleton. Ooh, there we go. Ooh, bit of spillage. It's almost like old times. Notice that the neck brace is off. The surgeon very kindly said, no longer need to wear that, it wasn't doing anything, got good mobility in the neck, and because the vertebrae was fixed with a metal plate, all is well. However, still have to wear the exoskeleton for another 6 to 8 weeks because the T8 vertebrae back there was not fixed with a metal plate. They didn't want to operate on it to avoid well, the risk of an operation being even more serious than it was. Therefore, it takes a lot longer, I'm told, for this vertebrae to heal sort of naturally with basically this to keep me upright, and I need to keep it on for another 6 to 8 weeks. Welcome one and all to my first Zwift race in quite some time. Taking it carefully, it's climber's gambit, so really all I'm looking to do is have a good 20-minute effort up the final climb. It feels lovely to be riding with others, giving ride-ons and having a little bit of banter in the chat. Just started the climb, the reverse epic, hoping for 4 watts a kilogram. I've done it in training on the watt bike, but not with as much effort beforehand. We're going to pace the effort and obviously stay upright and not do anything to twist the torso or bend the torso. I'll report back. 800 meters to go. I haven't maintained 4 watts a kilogram, but I'm right on my limit. Feels good. Here we go. That was hard. 4 of 4 cates. Dear me, that was difficult, but felt good. My surgeon's happy for me to continue cycling, so that's positive, but this has been proper hot over these hot summer days. Anyway, tomorrow, more of an endurance session. I'll report back. Now my surgeon has said that I'm able to do body weight squats, but because I'm still wearing the exoskeleton, I'm not officially able to start the physiotherapy. So I'm going to have a chat to Phill to see what he recommends in this situation. Obviously, I was hoping to start the physiotherapy this next week, but I don't want to go against the surgeon's orders. But I'm sure Phill will have a few ideas as to some remediation exercises that will overall be accretive to the physiotherapy when we eventually can start it. After the bodyweight squats, I've jumped on the bike obviously for an endurance session, aiming for 45 minutes at about 185 watts, and then hopefully an hour and 15 minutes at 200 watts. Last Sunday I managed an hour and a half averaging 200 watts, broken down half an hour 188, an hour 206. So gradually looking to eke up the endurance. I'll report back. Coming towards the end of this endurance block, I haven't been able to sustain 200 watts for an hour and 15, but not far off. Average watts over the 2 hours will be just over 190. Proper time. Into the final minute now. Looking forward to enjoying the final stage of the Tour de France this evening on TV. Feels proper hot in this exoskeleton, but feels good. Nice to have my first 2-hour ride in the back. And there we go. Obviously the heart rate goes up when I'm talking, but averaged about 165 to 170 for the final hour. 190 watts average, only just. And you can see the timeline. I had to back off after an hour and a half just to let the body reset. But really happy with that. Onwards and upwards. And you can see just how hot it is. I don't normally sweat that much, but this thing really makes a difference. Really enjoying the little small steps of progress and the routine of training. There's something very luxurious just about turning the pedals and gradually making a little bit of progress. With the 5 days training including 2 times 15 and a 90-minute effort. 9 minutes to go for an hour of power, comprising 3 20-minute rounds. First one, 205 watts. Second one, 215. And third, aiming for 225. No rest between each 20 minutes. I'll report back. 90 seconds to go. Holding 225 watts for the final or third 20-minute block. Heart rate 178 to 179. I've controlled it. Focusing on the pedaling technique. Left-right balance 50-50. Pedaling efficiency 73-74. Well, an hour of power in the bank, felt good, was in control throughout. Nice upright position, back not flexing or twisting. 1 hour, 215 watts, that final 20 minutes was proper challenging, but managed to keep the heart rate below 180. It's always higher in the upright position, but obviously I'm quite a lot hotter as a result of wearing a back brace. So really enjoyed that, enjoyed focusing on the pedaling technique. When I could see from the data it was deteriorating, I kind of applied a little bit more left or right balance and was sure to focus on the pullback on the pedal stroke. So it felt good. Focusing on my LT1, i.e. the point at which lactate starts really appearing in the blood, is not just being dealt with in the muscle, but is easily being cleared by the body. It's typically somewhere between the inflection point between zone 2 and zone 3. And I think it's a really useful power for most recreational cyclists. So that's my focus, rebuilding that and massively enjoying the process, the routine, and the little steps forward in terms of progression. As I say, massively liberating to have to rebase your expectations.